Sherry, thank you for joining us. So to start off, can you explain what the TikTok Accelerator program is for Indigenous creators and what it does?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Accelerator program for Indigenous content creators, it's a 6-week part-time online free program for Indigenous content creators at all levels to be able to come in and kind of brush up on some skills. Everyone's going to be at different levels, so it's not geared to just one type of level. So it doesn't matter how many followers or anything like that, how big your account is. We're going to try and adapt everything to everyone at all different levels, and Indigenous content creators, small businesses, artisans, comedians. So it's covering like a wide scope of content creators, and it's basically going to help you brush up on some skills or learn some new skills that you can utilize to hopefully have a successful career in the digital space.
Interesting. And typically there's 40 participants that are selected for the program, but this year there'll be 300. What does that increase say to you about the program?
Well, it says to me that they seen a demand. The past few years, the application submissions have grown quite a bit. So to turn away so many content creators that wanted to participate in the program, it was this moment of like, oh my gosh, like there's so many people that want to be a part of this, but then it was saddening to have to say no to so many people. Mm-hmm. So the fact that it jumped up that much, it just it feels good that to me that TikTok Canada and the National Screen Institute are seeing that demand in the people and the content creators. And so it's a little scary because 300 of anything can be scary, right? But I'm super excited for it.
Interesting. And the fact that it jumped from 40 participants to 300 shows that you guys are saying there is a demand and they're not doing half measures like, oh, we'll double it. Like this is a 650% jump, which is wild to see.
Yeah.
And so how powerful would you say the platform of TikTok is when it comes to amplifying Indigenous voices?
I think it's extremely important. Visibility and representation in Indigenous people and the things that we share in terms of storytelling, comedy, culture. For a lot of us, maybe growing up, we didn't have access to some of those things. So I myself learned a lot of things about who I am as an Indigenous person. And I think that when we talk about those things, we become reserved and wanting to hold some things back for fear of, exploitation or people taking that information and doing something with it. So we talk about protecting yourself on the internet and in those spaces. But I think it's really important because we're finally getting to tell our own stories. And it's like for us, by us.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And this is the 4th year for the Accelerator program. Can you think of some of the success stories that have come from it?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I'm not only a content creator, but I'm a watcher. And I know that sounds creepy, but I watch, I've watched how native TikTok has grown so much. And every day there's like new native content creators that I'm like, where did this person come from? And I'm going through their stuff and following them. And so I think that, I think it's super important that we have this space and it builds a community. But I've seen so many success stories where people's accounts have blown up. They've got verified, they're doing brand deals, they're doing like really cool stuff. And there's other opportunities even outside of TikTok because of your TikTok. And that's what's been happening with me.
Right on. Mm-hmm. And lastly, so for the program, people have until October 18th to apply. How can they do that? And what can they expect during its 6-week run?
So I'm just like, what to expect. So the application process is on the National Screen Institute website. And I'm not too sure the questions that they ask. And I always tell people this because I'm not really involved in like the choosing of the participants or anything like that. I wanted to withdraw myself because I could probably be kind of biased. You know, like, ooh, there's some of my favorite creators, like, you know, so I'm not a part of that. But they can find the application on the website of the National Screen Institute. And some of the things that they could look forward to learning is learning about monetization, learning how to protect yourself in the social media world, and mental health and well-being is super important. And then the interface in the app itself, because the app is always evolving and changing, and there's always these really cool, neat features that are, you know, brand new. And I'm like, what the heck is this now? And I'm looking at it. So we go through stuff like that, and they're not just from like content creators like myself who are using the app, but like leaders in the industry, in the TikTok industry in TikTok Canada, which is really neat because we don't have that opportunity, you know, as regular content creators to have those professionals come in and talk to us about what it is that we're doing on the app and how to use it.
Well, Sherry, we'll have to leave it there, but thank you very much for your time speaking with us today, and looking forward to seeing how the program goes this time around.
Awesome, me too, thanks.